Capital News tonight. Flood kills 5 people in Mbeya Region. President Dr. John Magufuli says the government will build an airport in Sumbawanga. And in sports, former President Jakaya Kikwete has launched the bicycle race to Butiama in commemoration of the father of the nation, Mwalimu Julius Nyerere. Good evening. This is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's start things off with the national news. 5 people have died after they were swept away by floods due to heavy rains, which also caused destruction on road infrastructure as well as residences in Mbeya. The police commander in Mbeya Region, SACP Ulrich Matei, said the details occurred yesterday by floods caused by rain, which started at 5 in the evening.
Mtu mmoja ajulikanaye kwa jina la Ajuaye James Sanga mwenye miaka 25.
Ajuaye James Sanga, age 25, and Maria Juma Mwashamba, of the same age, and Angela Solo, aged 15, died after drowning while crossing the bridge. 2 children also died. Jonathan Baraka Mwangisi, aged 3, and Ibrahim Ephraim, aged 2.
Lakini kule mbele tumeona daraja limebomoka. Lakini ukiliangalia tule daraja.
The bridge is worn out, and just by looking at it, you can tell that the work done was substandard. We wonder how such work can be accepted. The engineer has to be made accountable.
Tukawa tunarudi nyumbani. Tunapofika darajani, tukakuta pale maji yamejaa.
There was a lot of water. We attempted to cross over, but the bridge gave way. I'm the only one who survived.
And President Dr. John Magufuli has said that the government has given priority to construction of a big airport in Sumbawanga, Rukwa region to cost more than 500 billion shillings due to a discovery of helium in Lake Rukwa in Rukwa and Songwe regions. President Dr. John Magufuli made the statement when addressing residents of Sumbawanga, where he also launched a safe and clean water project which has the capacity to produce 20 million litres a day, a project funded by EU and German support.
Let me assure you, the people of Rukwa, that you cannot build an airport in an area you want to promote tourism, or to an area focus on economically, or a place where there is gas, or to an area surrounded by 2 lakes, Lake Rukwa and Lake Tanganyika, amongst others. There is 55.2 billion to be used to build a big airport. We started with paying out compensation, but there was a disagreement on whether to expand the existing airport or build a new one. So we decided that to expand the existing one, we would have to demolish a lot of people's houses, and a large aircraft like the Dreamliner couldn't land. So we decided to build a large airport where aircrafts could land even at night. But other people from other regions will come too. It will be a transport hub for this region. On behalf of the government of Germany, today is a joyous and special day and is a rare opportunity for me to stand before you, government leaders and the people of Sumbawanga, during this inauguration. I'm greatly comforted to be back in Sumbawanga. It is a momentous step to see the people are now getting clean and safe water. This is a great achievement of the partnership between Tanzania, Germany and the European Union.
Kisutu Resident Magistrate Court in Dar es Salaam has freed the former Secretary General of Tanzania Football Federation TFF, Michael Wambura, after he admitted to charges against him and agreed to pay 100,900,000 shillings. Senior State Attorney Wankio Simon told the court that the accusers agreed to pay 20,249,531 shillings on 7th October and that he will pay the same amount after every 3 months. Kisutu Court has freed Michael Wambura with a warning that he was not to commit any offence during a period of 1 month. And Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa has emphasized the importance of tax collection in directed municipals to stop changing use of allocated government funds, as this caused many projects to stall. Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa made the statement when addressing regional CCM leaders and employees from Singida Municipal.
What is disappointing about Singida is that revenue collection is done, yet a lot happens between collection and the money getting there. I've seen this in Manyoni too, and Iramba. At the municipal council, things are somewhat better. You must be serious with your own issues and what the government expects from you, as the government will try to do everything to reduce the number of items imported so as to enable home-produced products to have a large market share. To enable business owners to have areas where they can do business, Ministry of Industries and Trade through SIDO has constructed 12 buildings and 4 offices worth 5 billion.
The government of Tanzania and the World Bank have signed a loan agreement of 1.035 trillion shillings for implementation of projects being undertaken by Tanzania's Social Action Fund, TASAF. The agreement was signed in Dar es Salaam by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Finance, Dr. James, and the Country Director of the World Bank, Bella Bird.
In 2000, the government established the Tanzania Social Action Fund, TASAF. One of its initiatives on poverty reduction. The first phase was implemented in over 40 most poor districts on the mainland, as well as Unguja and Pemba in Zanzibar. A total of 1,704 community projects were funded and implemented, which had a total value of Tanzanian shillings 72 billion.
This is the second largest project we've ever done in Tanzania as the World Bank.
Okay.
So, and it's directly for the poorest in Tanzania. So we are all very proud of that. And when I presented this project to the board of the World Bank on the 12th of September this year, we had extremely strong support from all of the World Bank's shareholders. Over the next 4 years, more than 5 million Tanzanians, with more than half of them women, will benefit from this vital program.
Tanzania Ports Authority TPA plans to formalize 120 out of 300 illegal ports in a period of 1 year. This was said in Dar es Salaam by the Director General of TPA, Engineer Deusdedit Kakoko, when talking about the authority's Ports Development Strategic Plan.
Ridhaa ya Watanzania alipita maeneo hayo, mengine yalikuwa hata madaraja hakuna, ndio yamejengwa sasa hivi.
Some areas have no bridges. They've only recently been built. And some villages are impassable and the only way in or out is on a water vessel. Ports are extremely important. We hope that the ship under construction will be allowed to operate soon, especially on Lake Nyasa region. These are the fruits of the fifth phase government to provide services to its people.
Mwezi huu tunataraji itapata kibali cha TASAC.
And that's all for national news. International news is next. And in international news, as countries around the world mark UN Habitat Day in Kenya, hundreds of illegal settlers evicted from Mau and Mbobot forests have held a demonstration to the president's office in protest against their eviction. The protesters are claiming that they have lived in the forests since their grandfather's generation, with Amnesty International saying their eviction was a violation of human rights.
Without houses in the forests, and also they use like Kenya water towers. They just bring money in terms of conservation. Yet they come and violate human rights of Sengwer community.
People of Sengwer are one of Kenya's many ethnic communities. They have been in this country as long as Kenya has been known as Kenya, and for the last 100 years they have been steadily pushed off the forests that they live. They have also been assimilated, or they have attempted to assimilate them into other communities. That means that there have been attempts for them to lose their language, their culture, their science, and their religion. Less than 7 articles of the Constitution. And those articles essentially give them the right to have access to forests. It gives them the right to their own identity. And thirdly, and most importantly, it gives them the right to be able to occupy the forests.
And South Sudan is on the verge of losing its membership of the East African Community as it has failed to contribute $27 million since it joined the community in 2016. According to the EAC membership agreement, each country is supposed to contribute $8 million each year as funds for the community's activities.
It is very demeaning.
It is very demeaning to see that there are no funds to pay employees. Even in small companies, this cannot happen. It is not right to think of how I will pay salaries.
The executive secretary of the opposition coalition, NARED, which comprises of Burundians who left the country for political reasons in 2015, has returned to Burundi after living in exile. Anicet Niyongabo, who is also the chairman of the opposition CDP party, has said that he has returned to Burundi after seeing the situation was conducive to prepare for the 2020 elections.
We are preparing elections for ourselves. Thus, it is best for politicians and civilians who ran away from this country to work together in elections, and even those with warrants out of their arrest should have them removed. We've asked them to return. We've shown them that their nation is their own and they cannot abandon it. We have asked them to even go out in the regions and see for themselves that the country is safe and how citizens are responsible in ensuring development in their day-to-day activities.
Parents of students in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo have called on the government to dismiss teachers who are on strike as the situation is affecting their children.
They hit us with stones and chase all students end up running away from school. We want the teachers chasing children from their studies to be replaced. Since they do not want to teach, they should bring other teachers instead. As a parent, I am unhappy with this strike.
Many African countries import about 90% of medicines from foreign countries, a situation that has contributed to imports of fake medicines in Africa. This was revealed in a meeting that is being attended by health experts from 41 African countries in Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe.
The plan, called the Pharmaceutical Manufacturing Plan for Africa, will act as a guide that helps countries identify how they set systems to support investors to have good government to manufacture drugs that are at an international accepted standard.
And that's where we leave off with international news. Business news follows after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand. You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Thank you for staying with us. And in business news, the United States government, through the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, have signed a $10 million financing portfolio guarantee agreement with Amana Bank. Through this agreement, USAID aims to strengthen the bank's ability to provide financing to agriculture-related micro, small and medium enterprises and women and youth-owned businesses in Tanzania.
So the guarantee agreement is intended to strengthen Amana Bank's ability to provide financing to agribusinesses in this country. As a result, we anticipate this program will contribute to sustainable growth of agriculture-related businesses. And having been in this country off and on for many, many years, I recognize how important agriculture, livestock, fisheries will all be to the continued growth of the economy in Tanzania.
Usually, customers who come to take out loans at Amana Bank must meet the approved requirements. What the grant does is it sponsors those who do not have sponsors for their loans.
And small entrepreneurs from member states of the East African community have called on the East African Business Council to create a network which will provide them with correct information on decisions made on removal of trade obstacles along border areas.
Big stakeholder, and we want to work very closely with the ABC to industrialize and create competitiveness and employment for our citizens of the East Africa Community region. The Confederation, it is just a chapter, and even at the partner state or at the state level, we reach out this, it is from down to the top, not from top.
Fully 50% of all foreign direct investments into Africa went into only 3 countries. That is Nigeria, South Africa and Ghana. Most of the investment has been going on into the oil and gas industries, mining and minerals and retail. So there has been relatively little investment in manufacturing and modern tradable industries. That is why investment in Africa to date has not been creating the much needed jobs.
And mobile phone company Tigo has launched Customer Service Week with the aim of ensuring customers get high-quality services or magic of service until the 11th of October 2019.
This week, we also expect to get close to customers. Thus, we will be mobile, as we do so, taking services to bus stations, markets, and in the streets to continue to educate our customers on the services that we have, and also to commend them for continuing to be with us.
That's where we leave off with business news. Sports news is next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose to Lynn.
And in sports, the former president of Tanzania, Jakaya Kikwete, has launched the bicycle race to Butiama in commemoration of the father of the nation, Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, 20 years after his death.
Mwalimu alisema uhuru wa Tanzania.
Mwalimu once said The independence of Tanzania is not complete until all African countries under colonial rule are independent. But the statement alone does not make all the countries independent. So, he helped a lot in fighting for freedom of other countries. In areas where colonialists did not want to leave voluntarily, he helped.
The Minister for Information, Culture, Arts and Sports, Dr. Harrison Wakembe, is calling for stakeholders to support in raising 120 million shillings to organize an IBF championship fight for Bruno, who needs to defend his championship belt that he won in Australia.
Kuna kijana wangu yule Bruno, nahangaika sasa hivi nikipata pesa.
I am struggling now for Bruno. If I get funds for him to defend his title here in Tanzania, and if he wins, his next match will not be here because he has an international belt. So he must fight in Las Vegas.
And Alkay Gundogan admits Manchester City are not happy that they already need Liverpool to make mistakes if they are to land a third successive Premier League title.
Shock defeat to Wolves leaves Pep Guardiola's side 8 points behind the leaders just 8 games into the season. City overhauled a 7-point deficit to Liverpool last term, but Gundogan says it is frustrating that they again need other teams to do them favours in the title race and so early in the campaign. Liverpool have made a perfect start to the season with 8 victories from 8, and another after the international break against Manchester United will see them equal City's Premier League record of 18 successive wins.
Houston Rockets general manager Daryl Morey has tried to defuse the rapidly growing fallout over his deleted tweet that showed support for Hong Kong anti-government protesters, saying he did not intend to offend any of the team's Chinese fans or sponsors. Here is more.
Short time after Mori posted that statement, the NBA said it was regrettable that the deleted tweet offended many in China. That followed several companies in China, including some of the NBA's major business partners there, lashing out over Mori's original tweet. Their uproar started when Mori tweeted an image that read, "Fight for freedom, stand with Hong Kong." It referred to the 4-month-old protest movement that has upturned semi-autonomous Chinese territory.
Arsene Wenger believes Unai Emery is helping to highlight just how good a job he did at Arsenal, with top 4 finishes now considered to be cause for celebration.
Rarely the case during the 22-year reign of an iconic Frenchman in North London. Wenger oversaw 3 Premier League title triumphs with the Gunners, including the Fable Invisibles campaign of 2003 and 2004. For 2 decades, he had Arsenal established among the English and European elite. His powers began to fade towards the end in successive seasons and walked away in the summer of 2018.
Of everyone who worked to prepare this bulletin for you. My name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching.
ITV, EATV, Capital TV, Radio 1, East Africa Radio na Capital Radio sasa zinapatikana kupitia satellite Interset 22 uelekeo 72.1 degree east C-band, frequency 3671 MHz, symbol rate 8571 kilosymbol per second, forward error correction 2/3, polarization horizontal.
In Tanzania, we have an amazing array of places we call home. But when it comes to interior designing, decorations, and gardening,